If abortion's really a women's health issue, why do so many young men seem so keen on it? Well, apparently avoiding responsibility is a feature of the movement, not a bug. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. Now, most people don't know this, but early feminists, including suffragette Susan B. Anthony, well, they were deeply opposed to abortion. A surprisingly honest Saturday Night Live sketch from a couple years ago captured the shock of a group of progressive young ladies when they learned of Anthony's less than progressive views on a woman's so-called right to choose. Even more, Anthony and other early feminists clearly stated why they opposed abortion. Besides calling it murder, they argued that abortion allows men to use women to satisfy their appetites and then throw them aside. And in 1875 speech entitled Social Purity, Anthony put abortion alongside of breach of promise, divorce, adultery, bigamy, seduction, rape, wife murders, and infanticides as evil perpetrated by men against women and children. In an 1869 article in Anthony's newspaper, an anonymous author, most assumed was Anthony herself, condemned abortion in no uncertain terms, laying it primarily at the feet of men. No matter the motive, she wrote, whether love of ease or a desire to save from suffering the unborn innocent, the woman is awfully guilty who commits the deed. It'll burden her conscience in life. It'll burden her soul in death. But oh, thrice guilty is he who drove her to the desperation which impelled her to the crime. Well, times have changed. What was once a feminist argument against abortion has become a talking point for it. A recent editorial in the Huffington Post entitled "Access to Abortion Changes Cis Men's Lives Too" makes exactly this claim. Now, for those who aren't up to speed on gender theory lingo, cis is short for cisgender, which just means non-trans and non-gay. Why that word even exists is another story. In the HuffPo piece, Emma Gray argues that abortion is good for straight men because it allows them to get rid of an unplanned child and to get on with their education and careers. She tells the stories of males, I can't call them men, who say that forced parenthood would have been a disaster for them. She remarks how lucky they were to live in states where their girlfriends could just visit an abortion clinic so that they could dispose of the child and move on to more important things. As one pro-abortion journalist she provingly quotes tweeted, "Behind millions of successful men is an abortion they don't regret getting with their partner." Gray goes on, carrying an unintended pregnancy to term can mean giving up on professional and educational dreams. It can mean sacrificing financial stability. It can mean being tied to the wrong relationship forever. And then she goes on to quote these fathers who, along with their partners, chose abortion over responsibility. "Access to abortion changed my life," said one. Another said, "Anytime I'm able to think about my career on a normal trajectory and the fact that I was able to finish school, I can almost always tie it back to the abortion." "If your girlfriend breaks her leg," said another, "you want to take her to the doctor instead of letting it be a lingering issue that she has to deal with for the rest of her life." Wow, what a hero that guy is. So apparently for this man in the Huffington Post, a baby's like a broken bone, and abortion is the splint that can get unwilling parents' lives back on track. Of course, the life of an innocent child killed in the name of convenience will never get back on track. Susan B. Anthony and other early feminists decried abortion as a way for men to dodge responsibility. Today, abortion supporters see male irresponsibility as a positive good, no matter who dies in the process. And by doing so, they've liberated men, but not women. They've enslaved women to male lust and given men a get-out-of-jail-free card. What kind of self-centered worldview puts a father's dream ahead of a child's life? As Susan B. Anthony would have argued, it's not a worldview that anyone who believes in women's rights should ever embrace. For more on faith and culture and to subscribe to Breakpoint, come to breakpoint.org. That's breakpoint.org. I'm John Stonestreet.